Ever get that feel? You know that feeling like we've only kind of scratched the surface of history? Like there's so much more out there just waiting to be uncovered?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Humanity's always been drawn to the mysterious, the unknown.
Right. And today we're diving headfirst into a text that claims to hold some seriously ancient secrets. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean.
Ah, the Emerald Tablets. It's no wonder they capture our imaginations. I mean, Atlantis, lost civilizations, ancient wisdom, it's all incredibly alluring.
Right. It's like finding that dusty old book in your grandparents' attic, the one that promises to reveal all the secrets of the universe. But before we get too caught up in the mystery of it all,
We should probably do a little reality check.
exactly, untangle the fact from the fantasy. So let's start with the purported author, this Thoth the Atlantean. Who is he, according to these tablets?
Well, the tablets themselves present a pretty bold picture of Thoth. They claim he was an Atlantean king who, get this, lived for generations.
Generations. Okay, that's a long life.
Right. And that's not all. They say he possessed this incredible wisdom, almost like superhuman intelligence, and even had magical powers.
So we're talking about a powerful figure, at least according to the tablets. But what about the historical record?
That's where things get interesting. See, outside of these tablets, Thoth is primarily known as the Egyptian god of wisdom and writing.
Okay, so a god. Not exactly an Atlantean king.
Not quite.
Yeah.
And there's not much, if any, historical evidence to support the idea of an actual king named Thoth who ruled Atlantis.
So where does that leave us with the Emerald Tablets? Are we saying they're completely bogus?
Not necessarily. See, even if we approach the historical claims with a healthy dose of skepticism,
Which we always should.
exactly. Even then, the Emerald Tablets offer a really fascinating glimpse into esoteric thought and occult traditions.
Right, because people have been drawn to these tablets for centuries.
They have, and that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
Absolutely. So let's dive into the content. What kind of juicy secrets and wisdom do these tablets hold? What are some of the main themes we're dealing with here?
Well, one of the most prominent themes is this concept of duality, this ongoing struggle between light and darkness.
Okay, light and darkness. It's a classic for a reason. Good versus evil.
Right. Yeah, kind of like that. But the tablets take it a step further. They suggest this duality is an active force in the universe, something that influences everything.
So it's not just an abstract concept like a philosophical debate. It's something real, something tangible.
That's what the tablets seem to suggest. And get this, they even mention these mysterious figures called the Dark Brothers.
Dark brothers. Okay, now that sends chills down my spine. Who are these dark brothers?
Well, the tablets describe them as individuals who possess knowledge, but instead of using it for good, they use it for their own selfish purposes.
So, like the ultimate bad guys, corrupting the natural order for their own gain.
You got it. And the tablets warn against their influence, urging us to seek knowledge and spiritual growth to combat these darker forces.
It's like that classic battle of good versus evil, but on a cosmic scale. And we're all caught in the middle.
Exactly. And that constant tension between those forces, that push and pull, seems to be central to the worldview presented in the tablets.
You know, it's interesting, this concept of duality, this interplay between light and dark. It pops up in so many cultures and belief systems throughout history.
It really does.
It makes you wonder if it's reflecting something fundamental about the human experience.
Right. Or even about the nature of the universe itself.
It's like a universal truth.
And the Emerald Tablets are offering their own unique perspective on this duality.
So it's not just about good versus evil, it's about something bigger, something deeper.
Exactly. It's about the fundamental forces that shape reality itself.
Okay, so the Emerald Tablets dive into this cosmic dance of duality, but I'm guessing they don't just leave us hanging, they probably offer some guidance on navigating it.
Oh, absolutely. And to really understand how they approach that, we need to explore another key theme woven throughout the tablets: the power of vibration and the word.
Okay, the word. And I'm noticing the capital letters here. We're not talking about just casual conversation, are we? What's so significant about the word in the context of these tablets?
The tablets suggest that sound and vibration are incredibly potent forces, almost like the building blocks of reality itself.
So, like, sound can actually shape reality.
That's the idea. They even claim that specific words and chants hold the keys to unlocking hidden knowledge and accessing higher planes of existence.
Intriguing. So it's not just what you say, but how you say it.
And the intention behind it. It's a concept we see in various spiritual traditions, right? The power of mantras, chanting sacred sounds.
Yeah, like those ancient chants and prayers that are thought to have a certain power.
Exactly. And this idea of sound as a creative force, it's central to a lot of the teachings in the Emerald Tablets.
It's like the tablets are saying we all have this innate power within us to tap into those vibrations to influence our realities.
Precisely. And this connection between sound, vibration, and consciousness, it becomes even more apparent when we explore another theme, the Halls of Amenti.
Okay, the Halls of Amenti. That sounds like something straight out of Indiana Jones.
Right. It definitely has that mysterious ring to it.
So what are these Halls of Amenti? Some kind of ancient temple?
Well, the tablets describe Amenti as an underground realm, but it's not your typical underworld.
Not all fire and brimstone?
No, not quite. Think of it more like a way station for the soul.
A way station.
Yeah, a place where souls go after death to learn and evolve spiritually before moving on to their next incarnation.
So it's not a final destination.
More like a layover.
The cosmic layover. I like that. So this idea of Amenti ties into a bigger theme we see in a lot of esoteric traditions, reincarnation.
Exactly. The tablets suggest that existence isn't linear, it's cyclical. Our souls are on this continuous journey, progressing through different stages of spiritual growth over multiple lifetimes.
So it's not a one-and-done deal. We get multiple chances to get it right.
That's the idea. And all of this, these themes of duality, sound, vibration, Amenti, reincarnation, they all connect back to Thoth himself.
Right, our enigmatic author. The tablets present him as this Atlantean king, but historically he's known as the Egyptian god of wisdom. How do we reconcile these two seemingly different narratives?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so we've touched on some of the major themes we see throughout the Emerald Tablets, this cosmic dance of duality, the power of vibration and the word, the cyclical nature of existence, but now I want to dig a little deeper. The tablets, they're not just like an abstract philosophy lecture, right? They have specific teachings, stories. And one that really caught my eye was Thoth's journey into the Halls of Amenti, this mysterious underworld. But you mentioned it's not your typical fire and brimstone underworld.
Right, it's definitely not about punishment or anything like that. The tablets describe Amenti as this place bathed in the fire of the infinite All-El. It's more about connecting to this higher source of energy and consciousness, a place of learning, spiritual evolution. In fact, Thoth actually encounters these beings called the Children of Light who reside there.
Children of Light. Okay, that sounds way more inviting than your average underworld. So who are these Children of Light? What's their role?
They're described as these almost like guardians or guides for humanity, powerful beings working to help us move toward the light, to evolve spiritually. They incarnate into human bodies, lifetime after lifetime.
It makes you wonder, if these Children of Light are working for good, do they have like an opposing team? Maybe connected to those Dark Brothers we talked about earlier, some cosmic rivals.
That's a really interesting connection. And the tablets do address this idea of negative influences, how to navigate them. There's a whole section on the key of magic, how to protect yourself from those who would try to control or manipulate you, how to tap into your own inner power.
A key of magic. Okay, that just sounds cool. What's the secret? What does this key unlock?
Well, according to the tablets, knowledge itself is the key. Thoth stresses the importance of not giving in to fear, choosing the path of light, aligning yourself with positive forces.
So it's about taking control, empowering yourself.
Exactly. And he even provides a kind of formula for protection, this magical incantation you can use to ward off negative energy. Call upon the Brothers of Brightness for help.
Hold on, a magic formula. Now you're speaking my language. What does this formula involve? Some kind of ancient chant?
Well, it involves visualizing this circle of protective light around you, chanting specific words of power. It might sound like something out of a fantasy novel, but it highlights just how important the tablets view sound and vibration as tools for shaping reality.
It's like they're saying we have this power within us, this ability to influence the world around us using our minds, our intentions. But the Emerald Tablets, they aren't all about magic spells and rituals, right? They also offer guidance on, how to live a good life.
Oh, absolutely. There's this strong ethical thread that runs through all the teachings. For example, the Key of Wisdom section, it emphasizes treating others with kindness, always seeking knowledge, following your heart. Basically, aligning yourself with what the tablets call the law of the cosmos.
The law of the cosmos? That sounds pretty weighty. What does that entail? Is it like some cosmic rule book?
It's never explicitly defined, but it seems to encompass this idea that everything is interconnected, that our actions have consequences that ripple outward.
So kind of like karma. What goes around comes around.
Exactly. It's about understanding those connections and striving to live in harmony with that cosmic law.
It makes you think about all those ancient civilizations that seem to have this deep understanding of astronomy, mathematics, natural forces, like the Atlanteans, which, speaking of, the tablets describe Atlantis in detail. What was their civilization like?
It's described as this incredibly advanced civilization. The Atlanteans, they'd mastered what the tablets call magic science.
Magic science. Okay, I like where this is going.
Right. They were able to blend technology and psychic abilities to achieve incredible things.
Like what? Give me the good stuff.
They built these amazing structures, could harness energy from the ether, even traveled through time and space.
Time travel. Now, that's what I'm talking about. But if they were so advanced, what happened? How come we don't learn about them in history class?
Well, according to the tablets, their downfall was their own misuse of power. They delved into forbidden knowledge, and it created this imbalance, this cosmic disruption that ultimately led to their destruction.
The old too much too soon story. It's a classic for a reason.
It really is. And it serves as this cautionary tale about the responsibility that comes with knowledge and power.
It makes you wonder if those stories we hear about lost civilizations, about them having this advanced technology we can't even imagine, maybe there's some truth to them. But let's get back to Thoth for a sec. If he was there for the fall of Atlantis, how did he end up in Egypt?
The tablets say that after Atlantis fell, he led a group of survivors to Egypt. He shared his knowledge, helped establish their civilization, even claimed to have built the Great Pyramid.
Whoa, hold on. He's taking credit for the pyramids now. That's a bold claim.
It definitely is. And the tablets, they describe the Great Pyramid not just as a tomb, but as a force house.
A force house. What does that even mean?
The way it's described, it's like this structure designed to harness energy, maybe even serve as a gateway to Amenti itself.
Like a giant cosmic battery.
Something like that. It's a fascinating concept. But here's the thing. If Thoth had all this knowledge, why not just share it with everyone? Why hide it away in a pyramid?
That's a great question. The tablets say that humanity just wasn't ready for that kind of knowledge. He concealed it in symbols, in mysteries, waiting for a time when we were ready, a time when light grows among men.
It's like a message in a bottle cast out into the sea of time.
Exactly. A message waiting for the right moment, the right people to discover it. But what about Thoth himself? What ultimately became of him? Did he just sail off into the sunset?
Well, this is where things get even more intriguing. The tablets portray Thoth as this immortal being who can choose when to move on from his physical form. He even claims to have reincarnated multiple times throughout history.
Wait, so he's like this time-traveling, shape-shifting master of the universe? This just keeps getting better. Did he at least leave any clues behind? Some way for us to follow in his footsteps?
He certainly did. The tablets are full of clues and keys for those who know how to look. In fact, there's a whole section called The Key of Time.
The key of time. Okay, I'm hooked. Does it tell us how to build a time machine?
Well, not exactly, but it suggests that time itself isn't linear, not in the way we typically think of it.
So, like, time travel might actually be possible.
Thoth describes traveling through these strange angles of time, suggesting the past, present, and future might all exist simultaneously.
Whoa, that's blowing my mind a little. It's like all of time is happening at once. But if that's true, wouldn't that mean the future is always changing?
It's a possibility the tablets definitely suggest. But they also emphasize that while the future isn't set in stone, we're not just powerless pawns. We have free will, and our choices have consequences. Remember the law of cause and effect.
So what we do in the present can influence the future.
Exactly. It's about understanding that connection, taking responsibility for our actions, recognizing that we have the power to shape our own destinies.
That's a powerful message, especially in a world that can often feel so chaotic and uncertain. But speaking of uncertainty, the tablets also hint at some pretty, well, intense future events, don't they? Like there's that whole section about a great war that will devastate humanity.
You're talking about the prophecy in Tablet 12, the one about a future conflict that will leave half of humanity gone. It's a pretty sobering thought.
It really is. It makes you wonder, is the future predetermined or do we actually have the power to change course?
It's a question that's been debated for centuries. But the tablets, they offer this interesting perspective. They suggest that even in the face of darkness, there's always hope. They predict that after this period of conflict, a new age of light will dawn.
So, light at the end of the tunnel. That's reassuring, at least. What will this new age be like?
Imagine an era where wisdom and understanding prevail, where humanity unites in peace and harmony. It's this utopian vision that's inspired countless people throughout history. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope for a brighter future.
I like the sound of that. A little hope goes a long way. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I want to circle back to this idea of Thoth's multiple incarnations. You mentioned that some believe Hermes was his last incarnation, as in Hermes Trismegistus, the founder of Hermeticism.
The very same. It's a fascinating connection, suggesting this link between ancient Egyptian teachings and the Hermetic tradition, which has had a huge influence on Western esoteric thought.
It's amazing to see how all these ancient traditions connect and influence each other. It highlights just how interconnected human thought and spirituality really are.
Exactly. It's like these teachings are all tapping into something deeper, something that transcends time and culture, something universal.
It's like these echoes of ancient wisdom, they're still whispering to us today.
And those whispers, they can lead us to some really fascinating places. Like, have you heard about this secret of secrets mentioned in the Emerald
A
Tablets?
secret of secrets. Oh, now you've got my attention. What's the deal with this secret? Is it like the recipe for the philosopher's stone or something?
Not quite, although it might be even more valuable. See, the secret of secrets, it's not about finding some hidden object or anything like that. It's about unlocking something within ourselves.
Okay, so less Indiana Jones, more inner exploration. I can dig it. But how do we actually unlock this so-called secret?
Well, Tablet XV, the one that talks about this secret, it describes it as the path to becoming a God-man. But it emphasizes that this path, it's a deeply personal journey.
So there's no one-size-fits-all instruction manual.
Not exactly. It's about self-discovery.
Yeah.
Thoth, he gives us clues, but he stresses the importance of purifying the soul, mastering our internal energies, aligning ourselves with the cosmic law. He even provides instructions for, get this, astral projection.
Astral projection, like out-of-body experiences. Okay, now things are getting really interesting. But before we start planning any astral vacations, let's back up for a second. This God-man concept, what does that even mean? Are we talking superpowers?
Not quite superpowers. Think of it more like, how do I explain this? It's about reaching your full potential, realizing the divine spark within you.
So it's like we all have this incredible power inside us just waiting to be unleashed.
Exactly. And the Emerald Tablets, at their core, that's what they're all about. They're urging us to wake up to our true nature as spiritual beings, to step into our power, to become, well, the best versions of ourselves.
It's a powerful message, and you know what? It's kind of inspiring. But there's one last thing I wanted to ask about before we wrap up. The tablets mention this place called Shambhala, a hidden realm where Thoth's brothers dwell in darkness. It sounds a little ominous, to be honest. What's the story there?
Ah, Shambhala. It's like the ultimate mystery within a mystery. Some people believe it's a hidden kingdom or a spiritual paradise. But the tablets suggest that it's not so much a physical location as it is a state of consciousness.
So less about booking a flight, more about an inner journey.
Exactly. It's about reaching a higher level of awareness. And Thoth, he even hints at techniques for accessing this hidden realm. Like he talks about using specific words of power to pass through the barriers that guard this sacred place.
Wow. Well, on that note of mystery and hidden realms, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. We've traveled from Atlantis to ancient Egypt, explored hidden realms, encountered some truly mind-blowing teachings.
It's been quite the adventure. And while we may never know for sure if these tablets are actually ancient Atlantean artifacts, there's no denying their impact.
They've captivated readers for centuries, sparked countless debates. But at the end of the day, they offer this fascinating glimpse into a world of ancient wisdom and hidden knowledge, inviting us to question everything we think we know.
And perhaps even more importantly, they remind us of the power within each and every one of us, urging us to embrace our own unique journeys and strive for a brighter future, not just for ourselves, but for all of humanity.
Beautifully said. And to our listeners, if you're as intrigued by the Emerald Tablets as we are, we encourage you to explore them for yourselves. See what resonates with you, what questions they spark in your mind. Who knows? You might just unlock your own secret of secrets. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep that spark of curiosity.